My name is Honorable Abubakar Kusada. I represent the good people of Kankia Kusada Ingawa Federal Constituency from Katsina State. No, thank you for asking me this question. It is a very good one and at a very good time. Honestly speaking, from my own candid opinion, the constituency project should be stayed. We have to maintain it. In fact, we have to even strengthen it so that it will benefit the very targeted people. You see, if you take Nigeria as a whole, we have 360 federal constituencies. Not all these federal constituencies, when you go there, you will see the very presence of federal government there. There are federal constituencies, when you go there, you will hardly see any federal project there. And even the programs, the empowerment, some of the constituency projects are not benefiting. Like now, when you go to the north, the core north, any program you came up with and you say people should go online and apply, we have so much problem because of the level of the exposure of our people. Now, it is through this constituency project that the presence of federal government is being seen all over the constituencies. So I think it is understatement to say whether we maintain or not maintain this constituency project. To my own candid opinion, it has to be stayed, it has to be maintained, and it has to be improved so that it will benefit the very targeted people. I believe in the process there will be some other mismanagement or mishandling or application of the funds appropriated for that purpose. But we need to checkmate all these loopholes and make the necessary corrections so that the targeted people will continue to benefit from this constituency project.
Some people still really don't believe that it goes a long way to improve the living standard of the people. Can we know basically what are those basic amenities for your constituency that you actually will use as an example? Talking borehole, because some say it's meant for the federal government, talking construction of roads, talking water. Are there other things that Nigerians should know that, yes, you have the opinion that federal government presence are usually not there? But let's talk about your constituency. What can we be proud of?
Like now, when you go to my federal constituency now, yes, federal government has recently approved the establishment of a college, to a federal fire service college. Now, but in terms of empowerment, in terms of empowering the farmers, because we are 100% farmers, in terms of providing the potable drinking water, if not through the federal constituency project, you will hardly see any helping hand from the federal government directly to the farmers. But we, as a lawmakers, through this constituency project, we used to empower farmers, give potable drinking water, like drilling of borehole, solar borehole, hand pumps, and so on. And the irrigation facilities are being provided through all these constituency projects. You see, there are a lot. Like when you go to the education sector, you can still provide for instructional materials, the teaching and what have you, so that it will boost the teaching capacity of our schools. There are a lot of things that you can do, even in the sport, even in terms of electricity. You provide transformers to your communities. You will hardly, if not because of this constituency project, there are communities, they will continue to live in darkness because of the problem of either transformer or cables or what have you. So I think we have a lot to benefit from this constituency project. Most especially, like I said, not every federal constituency, when you go there, you will see the presence of the federal government.
Okay, National Assembly got 100 billion for constituency project. Do you think there should be improvement? Do you think we should have additional stuff talk in 2021 budget?
Yes, if we can, you see, that something has to be explained here. You see, when it comes to the budget, you will see that in the budget, so amount has been budgeted for constituency project. Like say now, you say 100 billion. Okay, we now budgeted 100 billion. Let people track this. Is the 100 billion fully released for that purpose? That is another thing, because the budgeted amount is different thing, and the release amount is another thing again. So, like now, this is 2019 budget. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I can stand to be corrected, what is released is only 30%, from my knowledge. Out of whatever amount we budgeted, it's only 30% that has been released, and it was recently released to the MDS to execute constituency project. So you see, the amount of budgeted is different from the amount released. If 100 million is budgeted in my federal constituency to execute certain project under constituency project, now, is the 100 million fully released to execute that project? That is another thing that people have to understand, that not all the budgeted amount is being released at the same time. Now we are taking the country to the next level by ensuring that the budget is now a complete one-year cycle from January to December. Good. If we budgeted 100 billion for the constituency project, if through these 12 months we can be able to have a release every month, certain amount is being released for that project. Every month, certain amount is released for that project. Before you complete the amount is fully released for that project, then people will start tracking and identifying whether we actually will make sure that this project or item of the project is fully executed or not. And let me be very clear here, that this constituency project we are all talking about, we the lawmakers, we the federal legislators, we are not being given, we are not the one that was given the money to execute the project. It was being released to the MDA concern. Now, if you provide, or if you budgeted that 100 million should be used to provide electricity cable transformers to my federal constituency, those monies will be released to the MDA concerned about the power, like REA and what have you. They are the ones that are executing this project to our federal constituencies. The single kobo is not being released to any lawmaker. So let people get it very clear that we are not responsible of executing the project, we are not the contractors, and we are not handling any contract. We are only ensuring that the item of the budget is inserted in the budget. Once it is approved in the budget, then we ensure compliance by the MDA.
What do you think about?
No, this is we have to welcome this idea of taking Nigeria to this level by executing the budget cycle from a complete year, January to December, because you see, you are budgeting to do activities in a year throughout the country, and what you are generating monthly, and you are disbursing monthly. So I think it is a better way to track budget, to monitor budget implementation by seeing how much you are generating this month, how much you released, and how much work has been done for that release. I think it is a very good idea, and it's another way forward for Nigeria. Actually, one of the constitutional mandate of the National Assembly is to ensure compliance of the law. In the essence that whenever a budget is being approved by the National Assembly and assented by the President, it becomes a law. Now, through oversight function, the federal lawmakers used to ensure that all items of the budget, once the money for that purpose is being released to the MDA, any MDA, so it is the duty of the National Assembly through oversight function to ensure that those monies released for that particular project has been executed in accordance with the provision of the law. So I think by going oversight we ensure that the budget is being executed, and we track how MDS are executing these budgets. Speaking, Honorable Ilyas Jafar is one of the best lawmakers I know in this house. We were in the same committee of power with him. I know him as a very intelligent person. His contribution in that committee is awesome, and we normally rely on his contribution before we take even decision. So it's a great loss to the family, it's a great loss to the National Assembly, and it's a great loss to the country at large. Honorable Ilyas Jafar has been a very active member of the National Assembly. He always assumes the meeting whenever it is called, and you will hardly see him absent in the legislative activities. So he's a very active member of the National Assembly, and his contribution is commendable, honestly. We lost him, and I pray that Allah in His infinite mercy grant him a Jannah Firdaus.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.